Hiya. First time I'm recording a video for a while. I wanted to talk a bit about sleep. This is so crucial in a holistic approach to MS. Unfortunately, MS sufferers often have difficulty with disturbed nights for whatever reason. For me, it's nerve pain. And it really is changing all the time. It seems to fit a certain pattern, so I'm a little bit more prepared for that. So I was waking up at 12 o'clock and then 3 o'clock a few weeks ago, and now it's changed to being woken up with pain, and then I have to sit up, and I have my toolkit, which is a flask of herbal tea, pot of nuts, a banana and a almond butter sandwich, and I have a bit of food, a mug of hot drink. Sometimes I might have some paracetamol, although I found that for a while was quite effective and now it's become less effective, although I'm trialling cocodamol at the moment because I have an operation coming up on Thursday, my nerve blocking injection, which may or may not work, but what I'm really dreading rather than the procedure itself is the likely worsening of symptoms for up to 2 weeks after. That's what I'm really dreading. Anyway, back to talking about sleep. So that pattern of a few weeks ago, the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock awakening, I'd have to sit up for an hour, sometimes more. That's changed recently to me having a bad nerve pain attack at bedtime, like at 10:30, that lasts well over an hour, and then I'm just absolutely exhausted, and then I tend to have another one about 3 a.m. That seems to be my new pattern at the moment, so I'm trying to address the bedtime attack, because what that means is I'm so exhausted then when I'm woken up by pain at 3 o'clock that I'm just sort of I'm struggling to sit up, but the pain is worse when I lie down, so that is a motivating factor to sit up. But what I've found has really helped me, because I was having attacks at 5 a.m. fairly regularly for a while, that would last sort of till 6 a.m. Sometimes I'd hear my son get up for school and I'd be like, oh my God, that's it then. But what I've managed to do, because I'm so exhausted, is on mornings like that is, always to make sure he's got his own alarm so he can be self-sufficient in the morning. Thankfully he can walk to school. We've moved house so that's possible. And he can just sort himself out, get dressed. I make sure he's got his clothes ready to put on. He helps himself to breakfast, brushes his teeth, all that stuff, packs his bag and goes off on his own. And I sleep then until sometimes, because I go back to sleep at 6:15. It isn't always that easy, but I'm so exhausted that, I can. And I've kind of trained myself to see that as a really valuable window, because often then I only wake up when he's either gone at 9 o'clock or when he's leaving at 8:15. And those extra couple of hours are the difference between me feeling okay, actually pretty good by comparison to how I feel most days, or feeling absolutely terrible if I've just actually gone, well, I might as well get up now. Or if, let's say, I haven't got something prepared for Alfred and I need to get up to help him, or maybe I've got to drive him into school that day because he's got too much to carry. So for me, recognising that extra sleep when I lie in, I've never been somebody to lie in, but when you're absolutely exhausted, I find it really helpful to recognise the opportunities, the windows of time where you can get a bit more sleep in, because this is still really valuable time for your brain to rest, recalibrate, restore all that sort of thing. And your body, of course. They're not separate after all. So that's what I wanted to say today. I feel so much better today because I did that, managed to go back to sleep. And also for me, because my partner is at home at the moment, he works away a lot of the time. So that means I can't necessarily go back to sleep when he's away because I need to be there to support my son getting ready for school. So it's quite tough dealing with these things as a parent, but tough anyway, you know, lack of sleep. Right, 5 minutes 40. I just wanted to quickly mention, in addition to that, people are always talking about sleep hygiene, and that is one of the first things you should look at. There's a 3-2-1 rule, which can't say I really follow, but maybe it could be useful for some people. Don't eat within 3 hours of going to bed, because that could disturb your sleep. No devices or screens within 2 hours of going to bed, and then thinking about lowering lighting levels within an hour of going to sleep. I mean, that doesn't really work for me because I have to eat every 2 hours, otherwise I'm more likely to get nerve pain. And that is a long time as well. I mean, I find TV can be quite soporific, but I try not to watch it within half an hour of going to bed. So you can tweak it to what works best for you. I often just sit there with an eye mask on for half an hour before bedtime when I'm taking my last meds, just to kind of condition myself. Anyway, I've talked for 7 minutes now. I hope that might be of some use. Bye.